everyone. I'm Nikki.
I'm Nick.
And together we're Nikki Nick. Today we are going to react to Casually Explained Video Games.
I think I've heard of him. Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
He's he's a big YouTuber, but I haven't heard of him myself. Right now, looking at the thumbnail,
But his little cartoons
I
look
love it.
fun.
And it's my favorite topic.
Yeah, video games are his favorite topic, so...
So I'm going to probably have a really good opinion on this video, so...
Go ahead. I know nothing about video games except the Nintendo 64. That's kind of where I stopped at playing video games.
Well, we're going
I'm
to get
just
her
not
started
good at
back up,
them.
though. Don't worry.
Alright, here we go.
So, I recently had a conversation with someone who said, I've never really played video games. I don't get why people like them. And while I feel that she kind of answered her own statement, I felt compelled to talk about it because they've always been a big part of my life. And since I was a kid, I thought there was no better way to make friends than inviting someone over to watch me play video games. Now, if we go way back, one of my first gaming experiences was when I was about 4 years old, and my dad gave me a Nintendo 64.
Hey, that's me!
And what made me really fall in love with Nintendo was how they made me feel like I was something I could never be in real life. An Italian man. At the time, my dad really didn't know what video games were, and I remember he was just watching me play for a while. Then, after a bit, he said, "Wow, I can't believe how much content they can put in these games." Then a year or two later, when I was still playing the same game, he seemed to think something might be wrong and asked if I wanted some help. I said I could figure out myself, and it took me 4 years, but I got there, and when Christmas came around, he got me a brand new game as a present. Then my brother gave me the strategy guide for it and said, "I hate to see you struggle." In the end, though, joke's on him. I couldn't read. So since I was about 9 or 10, one of my favorite genres of games has always been RPGs, because you don't need friends to play. And one of the first RPGs I got into was
RuneScape.
And what I liked about it was that you have all these different skills like woodcutting, fire making, fishing, and all sorts of stuff you could level up
Add
and
me
really
on
make
there.
your character unique. And I figured, hey, I can totally reinvent myself on here to be whatever I want to be. That'll make me happy. You know, it didn't
Old
work,
dragon.
but, you know, live and learn. Which I didn't. No, I don't want to paint the picture that video games are always life's answer, because when I was about 13 or 14, like most kids my age, I was pretty self-conscious and had a lot of emotions that I didn't know how to deal with. I remember there was a real turning point for me when I came home from school really frustrated with the other kids, and I needed a way to vent out that anger, and of course I knew not to take that out on anyone in real life, but shooting a computer player with a bow and arrow wasn't cutting it, so I left the fantasy games behind and found something more realistic and first person. I went online, found someone, and even though my aim wasn't very good, I remember actually saying, "Take that, bitch," as I was blasting them in the face. But yeah, that's how I discovered porn. So after working through my emotions in POV, FPS, one of the best years of my life was when I was about 14 or 15, and everyone was really excited about StarCraft. Like most real-time strategy games, StarCraft was pretty brutal because you can never relax. Not only are you always doing something in the game, you're always trying to improve your level of play by practicing outside the game.
Very strategic
And every day
game.
when I came home from school, all my friends would be in a Skype call discussing our replays and how to get better. And being one of the first big esports, I thought, I want to be really good. So I played it about 6 hours a day for over a year, to the point my life practically revolved around the game. And eventually, after putting in a few thousand hours, I got to the point I was very briefly one of the top 10 on the ladder and got to play with some of the guys that I idolized. Unfortunately, that didn't last too long, and I was never quite good enough to go to tournaments and make money, but after I left the game, it was the first time I didn't regret any of the time I'd lost, because I truly achieved a goal that I set for myself, and I realized that if it weren't for that experience, I would have missed some of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned. Like, sex can wait, and no matter how good you are, there will always be a million Koreans better than you. And so since my StarCraft experience, I haven't really played any video games because I could never really get into anything in the same way again, and I barely touched a gamer controller all the way up until a few weeks ago when my dad moved, and I had some old stuff in his attic I had to go through, and I came across my Nintendo 64
I love that he
online
comes
games,
back to the
so
64.
I took them home, had a good experience reliving some of those memories, but not only that, I even found my own Donkey Kong strategy guide, and just like I remembered, I'd barely used it.
That was really cute.
It's cute.
I love that.
I like the simple drawing, actually.
Yeah,
Makes it
I
a
do
lot
too.
more entertaining to me.
It made me reminisce when I used to play the Nintendo 64, because I feel like that was like, I know that like there's a whole bunch of new consoles and stuff, but that was the peak of my game playing because that's the only like station I could actually get into and
I love that
it'd
he
be
brought
fun.
up RuneScape. It's a good game.
I've never played it.
I
but
visit
apparently
it
it's
every.
great.
It's been a while, but I visit it every
Is
now
that on
and
the
then.
computer or on the?
It's PC, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not knowledgeable in this field.
But I feel like he did learn lessons, but when he said what the lessons were, it kind of made me like,
Yeah, right.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was
But-
funny all in all. Like,
At
I
least he
think
set a
those
goal
are-
for himself.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's true that like with the whole gaming thing, I think people like I think it's a good thing. Like, I feel like people sometimes shine a bad light on gaming, but
Not anymore. I think
Yeah.
it's starting to become such a popular
Yeah.
media. It
Yeah.
doesn't even.
which makes me happy because I feel like it's something like you could be doing so many like worse things.
You
than
do
gaming,
you. Do
So
what you want.
yeah, exactly.
Don't care what anybody else thinks.
Exactly.
I don't at all.
And if you want to see more of us, make sure to check out the description box below. It's got our Snapchat and Instagram, and make sure to subscribe.
And leave a like and leave more requests or comments or anything like that.
Bye.
Bye.